Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, who is always in a rush to do these podcasts. Yeah. It never seems like we have enough time to do it these days. We always have to rush and do it because of circumstances, and today is no different. With a man named Zane Riley. Zane, how are you doing?
Ho, 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 man, Scout. Merry Christmas.
Well, you say that, but this episode is going to come out well after Christmas. This will be the first of the year.
Happy New Year.
That's more like it. That's why. That's.
Oh, you're.
Yeah, sad Lieutenant Dan sitting in a wheelchair. Yep. You know that, all those things.
Born on the 4th of July type shit.
Yeah, all that thing.
All that sad stuff.
Sad stuff. But yeah, we had to throw this one together because Don, our producer, is going on vacation, so we had to hurry up and do this one. And the topic of discussion today was originally just a 20-minute pilot that I found on YouTube. And you were like, "Can we talk about this for 20 minutes?"
Yeah,
and
it was like we're gonna do a whole episode. Like, how are we gonna do a whole episode off of 20 minutes of something,
brother? Once we saw it, I am now fucking hooked.
Yeah,
on this.
I'm gonna see if I can find you the complete series on DVD.
Absolutely. But before we get into the topic of discussion, I've been a little slack.
You have, yes,
on the reviews, and I got to give these people some love because I want to make it a priority. The offer still stands, guys. If you write a review on Stitcher or iTunes, and then you DM me your address and shirt size, I will give you a free t-shirt for writing a review. A lot of people are bitching like, "Well, I can't DM you." Well, you have to follow me. That's kind of how that works.
Sorry, jackass. You only have so many followers you can hand out right now.
Exactly. But then, but if you're really, really going to complain about it, just email me at manscottmanning@yahoo.com. But regardless, I want to give some love to the people who are sitting at the top, especially the person who wrote a review on iTunes. I've been very slack on the iTunes. Stitcher, of course, Destiny, but also too Moco Loco 85. Okay. I don't know if that is Destiny Edwards. I don't know if it is or not, because I thought Destiny was the top one at Stitcher for whatever reason, but Moco Loco said that 85 said that they saw us in Raleigh at our live one. So that's very cool. We picked up a new follower.
We're sorry, and you're welcome. Or we're probably
no, fuck
sorry.
that was a great episode.
It
fuck
was.
You.
Hey, it's on my list, brother.
We're gonna
get there.
We'll get there as well. But so at Stitcher we got Mocha Loca 85. Also too, big love to Ray. She was the one before that. We didn't get around to telling her that, but so big love to Ray. Thank you so much for leaving a review on Stitcher. But on iTunes, the Edgley Josh Strickland left a very nice review on iTunes. You're sitting on top of the poll. If you have not got up with me about your free t-shirt, like I said, DM me on Twitter or even Instagram or even our Facebook page. How Did This Get Booked? I will make sure that we get a t-shirt out to you immediately. Make sure you give me your address and your shirt size and send them out. So it's been a minute since I've sent them out, but it's also been a minute since I've put it a priority and put it at the top of the show. So like I said, leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher. You get a free t-shirt. Just send me your address and shirt size. So what do you want to do first? You want to do the topic of discussion?
Let's do the topic of discussion, and we can parlay that into the review, and then we go home.
Okay, cool. Because you
have so much.
I am dying to talk about our topic of discussion today.
I'm glad that I've asked so we can do this a little earlier in the day now.
Yes. I've been having trouble sleeping recently. Reasons. Just that's how it is. So you texted me like, "Hey, can we do this before noon?" I was great. Let's go do it. Fine, whatever. And then, but I still hadn't seen the show. But I was like, it's only 20 minutes.
Like, what the fuck could you possibly need?
And we conversated at 9, so I was actually just gonna watch the one episode, go do cardio. No. I've been down a fucking wormhole.
I have not been able to go do cardio yet because I've been doing this.
I haven't been able to do anything.
Good.
I'm connecting the dots. Our topic of discussion is the TV show sitcom, because like I said, it's just you and me, so it's pro wrestling in pop culture. And we are discussing the TV sitcom Learning the Ropes with Lyle Alzado. It debuted. Let me give you some of the particulars about the show, so maybe that jogs people's memory. Some people I'm surprised more people don't know about this.
I had no fucking clue about this.
You had no... I've known about this for a fucking while.
No, never.
And
it was Canadian also.
Yes, that's one of the things too. It was a Canadian-produced sitcom. It was on CTV. What do you think the C stands for in CTV?
Concussion.
Okay, yeah, that you'd be close. You'd be close. But the show was...
Is it not Canadian?
Yeah, it was
okay.
Canadian. It was Canadian.
Man, it's been real wild. So everybody's like, nah,
Canadian TV.
Dog.
Canadian TV.
Nah, continental.
You think that a country that's known for its humor would kind of give you a left turn on what the C stands for in CTV?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
C's probably etched out in a maple leaf and everything.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be what the logo is. But the show was syndicated in the U.S. Where, I don't know.
Detroit?
Obviously not.
Probably one of those northern...
Yeah, definitely not in the fucking South, because if it was syndicated in the South, it would still be on today.
It was up in the UP.
Yeah, it would.
Well, in that time, it would probably have been just wherever those wrestlers were local to.
God, I am shocked.
Minnesota?
I am shocked that this isn't around today.
Yeah.
I am. This thing is incredible.
Well, we've always had that idea, like you could just basically do Eastbound and Down, but with wrestlers.
Uh-huh.
And probably like, that's what it would be today. They would have just adulted it up a little bit, and basically what we have here would be what they put on HBO.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Actually, this whole thing was adapted for the HBO show Vice Principals.
Really?
No.
Oh, goddammit! Fucking Canadians.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Good.
Gotcha. Good.
CTV. What you got?
CTV. But this Learning the Ropes actually had a full season on CTV. It had 26 episodes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know if they aired all of them.
I would hope not. What are you gonna do?
Oh, there's a lot they can do. Trust me, because I've watched at least 5 episodes this morning, and they're fantastic, every single one of them. And they're all like 21 minutes without the because it was very serendipitous, as I was telling you off mic, but I'll tell you on mic now. It was very serendipitous that we ended up doing this. This episode came together in a rush, so I remembered this thing, and I knew we could watch it in 20 minutes, do it, and get it done, and. When I said, let's go do this, I just was typing in YouTube and I found the pilot immediately. But then I noticed that somebody on YouTube, the day that we decided to do this episode, had upload episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, episode 7. Like somebody had started uploading them literally as we were discussing what to do. So it's very serendipitous this is happening. I'm going to post some of these episodes on the Facebook page as soon as we're done recording this episode. Yep. So make sure you check out our Facebook page. Hopefully they're still up there. Hopefully they're taken down, because I tell you what, fucking episode 3 is a banger. But let's
wait till they deal with child pregnancy. It's nuts.
Well, actually, funny that you say that.
Fucking Lord.
We'll get to that one. It's not the Ricky Morton episode.
No,
actually, you know what? It might be.
I mean, somebody's gonna knock somebody
I got notes. Well, let's talk about the pilot first.
It's the debut of Kerry Morton.
Yes. Let's see the math. Would that? The math wouldn't quite work out. The math wouldn't quite
work. He'd be a '90s kid.
Yeah, he'd be a '90s kid. But let's just talk about the premise of what Learning the Ropes is. It's a single father who is a private school teacher and a vice principal.
And a vice principal at the same time.
Which is weird. I don't think the people who wrote the series quite know how schools work.
Yeah. Is he really a vice principal though? He doesn't in the episode that I saw, he doesn't vice princiate. He just teaches.
He gets offered to be vice principal, I think, in episode 1. Here's the thing: the pilot episode ends
just
up
a teacher.
The pilot episode ends up being episode 2 in the run of the series.
Oh.
So that's a little bit of information right there that I found out this morning.
Real Inception shit going on with this.
Yeah, show. We'll get to that. Okay. But we're just gonna. You've just seen the pilot episode.
I only know 20 minutes of this whole thing's.
We'll do a deep dive as we get towards the end of it. But we'll just discuss the pilot episode. It's what's posted on the How Did This Get Booked website. That's what we're going to discuss. It gives you, I think the pilot episode gives you a full sense of what this is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I got that in just the opening.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. If you just watch the opening, you understand exactly
it's all there.
You don't need to watch the whole thing.
No.
You really don't, because it's like
Because when it was all over, I was like, what was the last 15 minutes even about? Like, it has nothing to do with literally anything else.
Yeah, but see, people look back on it now, because I know, like, Russell Crap has looked back on this on this series and like shit on it and wrestling with regret. But the thing is, like, what a lot of those people don't realize is that 80s sitcoms sucked.
Yeah.
People forget that.
Yeah.
Like, go back and watch an episode of the A-Team.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking awful.
None of that shit,
I love the A-Team, but I was 8. You watch it as a 36-year-old man, it is hard to fucking watch. Go back and watch Charles in Charge, Three's Company. All, like, you see why for a while television was seen as like less than movies.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, you're a TV actor? That means you're a shitty fucking actor.
Yeah.
Like, or you're shit, you know? And you look back at some of the 80s television, it's not fucking good. And like award-winning television was not fucking good.
Yeah.
But everybody just assumes because we have Game of Thrones, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, all this fantastic TV now, and we're in the golden age of television, we got to think about the fucking stone age of fucking television. Shit was not fucking good.
No.
You know, and also too, especially during the 80s where they were producing more sitcoms, like I Love Lucy, like holds up into some extent. You know, Dick Van Dyke Show has some still good jokes. But then there's all that stuff in the middle in the 70s and 80s that does not fucking hold up at all.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking tough. So you gotta put that into context, and then also put into context this is Canadian television. Yeah. So
and regardless of it still being in the 80s, this is still a niche demographic that you have to like the whole like that 15 minutes of it. I was like, why the fuck is this even here?
Yeah, you have to like teaching.
It's exposition. Yeah, it's exposition to like put together the actual relationship between the father and his 2 kids. Because if you're not in that niche group, you're not going to understand the 5 minutes of Russell parts. You're going to need to be able to latch onto that that relationship between the father and the kids. But like it never wrestling was like if it wasn't for the very beginning scene, there was no wrestling really, except at one point took place in a locker room. Yeah. But you'd have to get that out there so people will at least want to tune in again, so you can add more wrestling down the road.
Exactly. But it's just to. This pilot episode just sets up all the relationships of the people and explains
where the mom is.
Oh, brother, that gets dark.
Is she dead?
No, she's not. Let's. That was one of the next things on my list right here. Is we like I said once again, single father, private school teacher, vice principal, moonlights as a pro wrestler. So I guess the working title for this show was actually the Shane Douglas story.
Yeah.
So. But
if it ends with him being a Walmart manager at one point,
yeah. Well, we never got a season 2.
What is I was about to say? What's the cliffhanger for 26?
Yeah, we don't know. But Lyle Alzado is playing Robert Randall, and his ex-wife. I guess it's his ex-wife.
In the context of this, they are still married, quote unquote. I don't believe that I don't think the kids know.
I think he explains to the kids
in the first one.
Yeah, in the pilot episode, yes.
No, he explains the way he says it was that. He's like, why did mom go there? We got to think like, I was this, and your mom was real busy, and when then you guys came like kind of quick, and so she was never able to go and follow her dreams. So this is her following her dreams now, being a lawyer.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's go ahead and just jump to talking about this because I've got some issues.
We can't tiptoe around this.
No, we can't. Let's just jump right into the discussion of what the fuck is going on with this mom.
Yeah,
like
we bring her into existence. Period. Like this could have gone on. Like there must be some more shit about mom that makes it important because they could have just done without this mom character. She's not a character at all. There's a letter that they get in the mail, and it's to the kids, and it just talks about how she's at law school. And then Dad has looked through the letter already after he tried to kayfabe that. And then I guess she's also like a bartender, and you just know how she pays for law school for the tips she makes at a bar.
Yeah, I will say the one thing about this family, they are resourceful.
Yeah.
They make sure that their bills are paid. Like if they got to moonlight as a bartender during law school, or you got to moonlight as a pro wrestler while you're a teacher.
I thought that meant that she was a stripper. I thought that was the joke.
Well, it's hard to tell with the laugh track.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple times where they throw in a laugh track for no fucking reason. Like, there are a couple of those moments.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, he's talking about she went off to law. She got the scholarship. The kids happened. And then his football career ended. And then he went back to school. So she had to become the mom. But she still wanted to go off and do things. And just a very line that hit me very fucking hard is that you have to learn how to love yourself before you can love somebody else.
Yeah.
Which I thought RuPaul was the one that came up with that.
No.
But apparently it was Lyle Alzado in Learning the Ropes in 1988 that coined that phrase.
Well, I think they mentioned, like, make reference to a divorce or something later on, but I thought they said it as almost as a joke in passing. Like, oh, I thought she just left you. Like that. And I thought they made a joke about it.
Yeah, see, I don't know. This whole fucking relationship is really goddamn weird, and the kids are handling it far better than they should.
I mean, you got to be in law school for like 7 years or something, so maybe she's been there a minute.
And I don't know if we should be like, we should be super progressive and like, no, a woman should have her own career and her own agency, or we should be like, she's a shitty fucking mom.
Well, so here's my issue. She's going to law school. That's cool. But she's going in a different country, and the laws aren't the fucking same. She can't learn American law over the fucking UK.
Well, maybe she's learning international law. Like, she's going to start trying trials at the Geneva Convention or something like that. I don't know. Like, that's... Like, I don't know how to feel about this. Should I feel like she's chasing her dreams? But then there's that situation of, like... I feel like they would talk about the mom the way that I hear about all these artists... documentaries that I see where they always talk about their parents like, well, she was looking for something that she never really found. Like every fucking great comedian, every great artist, musician, like they always talk about their parents going, you know, my dad, he was just looking for something he never really found. And like all of them, they all fucking start that way. Like every single one of them. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about the fucking mom.
I'm gonna have to watch some of the show. I'm gonna watch more episodes, and maybe this someone will have to come back. We'll have to revisit.
Yeah, we're gonna
Learning the Ropes revisited.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Today will be about the pilot, and we'll talk about a little bit extra, and then maybe in a couple months when we need something, we'll have watched the whole season by then, and we'll have more answers.
Mm-hmm. But one thing is for sure that he does have to keep secret. He has to keep secret that he's a wrestler from the principal at the school. But they don't.
The kids know?
The kids know, and here's another Inception thing you're gonna have to understand. This whole podcast is gonna be Inception inside of Learning the Ropes.
Someone out there is gonna have to watch the show, listen to this podcast, have some rudimentary sound editing skills, go through, and then clip edit this podcast around to make sense later.
Or I could just do it myself.
No, we won't.
That's way too much fucking work. That's way too much work.
Give it to the fans to do.
Yeah, exactly. You give it our fans.
Yeah,
our fans that are doing a wonderful job leaving reviews, and I'm doing an awful job putting them over for leaving reviews.
Ray and Josh Strickland are gonna go out there and they're gonna edit our shit. Destiny Edwards gonna edit some shit together. Mm-hmm. A super clip of what this show really is about.
Exactly, which is about possibly a shitty mom or possibly the most progressive family ever.
Yeah.
We don't know.
The progressive-ass 80s family.
Yeah, that just realize that you have a career and go hunt things down. Much like my family.
There you go.
Like, people think that my family doesn't love each other because we don't spend time together, but we're all busy just doing shit.
Yeah, just working it.
Yeah, just working it, doing our thing, and we come together, I'm like, yeah, I love you. I love you too. All right, I gotta go back to work.
Okay.
Bye. That's how we deal with it. So, but, like I said, the pilot is episode 2. The kids know in the pilot episode, which is episode 2.
They find out in 1?
They find out in 1.
Because I saw that, I guess the opening clip, the very opening bit that you see is, I guess, what you'll see this season kind of thing. Because then that's when the kid's like, my dad's an animal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what that is. But this pilot was just basically to sell you. But the pilot is basically to set up all the relationships.
Okay.
Episode 1 is to set up the fact that the circumstances, which, like you said, you can figure out in the intro.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. Yeah.
Which is great. The very open is, like, we didn't really talk about it because we skipped right to mom. But the very first, like, actual scene of the show you see is a fucking dude in half of an animal hat, and
that's the cheetah.
The cheetah. Nikita Koloff is there. Or Ivan Koloff.
Uncle Ivan.
Ivan's there, and then a random dude that looks like a lawyer, who I assume is maybe a promoter?
No, he's a doctor. He's their neighbor.
That's right, because he brings him back when he breaks his heart.
Listen, this show, you got to remember, like I said, 80s sitcom.
Yeah.
Cheesy intro song.
Yeah, which definitely was.
Definitely was. A mom who's not there.
Small appearance by Ric Flair.
Small appearance by Ric Flair. And then also, too, the nosy neighbor who comes over for no fucking reason and doesn't knock when he walks in.
Gotcha.
which is the relationship that I have with my neighbors.
Yeah, of course.
Who all think I'm a drug dealer, by the way.
Who hate you? Like...
All my neighbors hate me. They all think I'm a drug dealer because I'm coming in all hours of the night. They don't think for the second that I might be an artist or a traveling, vagabond of the world.
A rolling stone of sorts.
Exactly. They don't think that. Like, no, just drug dealer.
Drug dealer.
I might be doing something. I might be... something like a club manager or something of high. No, he's just a fucking drug dealer.
You see that mustache?
Yeah, definitely drug dealer.
One of two things, and he doesn't have a white van.
They also thought that because I had Tyshawn living with me. So he's living with a black man, so obviously he's a drug dealer.
So gays.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Drug dealer? Okay, drug dealer. Whatever you want.
That's exactly what everybody thought.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show the neighborhood that I live in. So,
pristine and white.
Yes. Speaking of things that are black, the Masked Maniac, the person who was the body double was Dr. Death Steve Williams, which after seeing the pilot episode I didn't believe because all the shots of the Masked Maniac wrestling looked very clunky and awkward. I'm like, are you sure this isn't just Lyle Alzale just kind of
just doing the stuff,
just winging it with Ric Flair? But then I watched some other episodes and I started to notice that. Because they filmed a couple of the matches at actual NWA shows.
Oh yeah,
like they're
like the one that they're watching at the table is George South versus
Ivan Koloff. But there's actually Masked Maniac matches that happen on NWA shows.
Oh, well, I did read that he showed up at
Clash of the Champions too.
Yes, and they did the stuff for him.
But I was just like, I don't know if this is Dr. Death. Like Dr. Death would be far better at this. But then I noticed some of the matches they took and. The Masked Maniac is fucking with that mask, and I'm like, oh, I know what the problem is.
He doesn't know how to wrestle in a mask.
He doesn't know how to wrestle in a mask, and a mask is more for TV than it is probably to wrestle in.
Yeah.
So basically, Dr. Death is dealing with the same dilemma that I have as FSCW Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a great wrestler, but I'm sure I look clunky as hell as Deadpool because I can't see and I can't breathe. So that's probably what...
Is this almost over?
Yeah. This is exactly. This is exactly what Dr. Death is going through. That's why he doesn't look like Dr. Death as wrestling as a Masked Maniac in some of these things. Also, too, Italian Stallion was also used as a body double as well.
In the gimmick?
That was one of the things that George told me, and George said he even got a little payoff for appearing in the first episode.
Oh, nice.
So
was that part of an NWA show, or was that
that was definitely part of an NWA show?
Because some of it, obviously the quality is the fucking shits, but some of the camera angles and stuff looked more like TV than it would wrestling TVs. It looked more like sitcom TV angles and capturing of footage than it would be.
I think what they probably did is they gave them the raw footage and they mixed it how they mixed it.
Or they had their NWA camera guys there, but they also had TV camera guys there doing it differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this might have been a little low budget. I think they would have just taken the raw tapes because it's shot the way NWA shows were shot. Still, I think I could be wrong on that. Right. I would love to ask some more questions about this, or I would love to. Ask Conrad Thompson to ask questions about it, and then he could get some answers, and people could actually hear the answers.
That's right.
As opposed to us come with the answers, and then nobody hears this podcast.
No one ever knows.
And no one ever knows.
So in the future, until Conrad Jr. pops up, he starts doing podcasts about failed podcasts. He finds ours. Turns out we've been comic gold for 40 years. Brother, no one ever knew about it.
Brother, I'm just looking for something I never really found.
You found it, brother, and then we have this weird resurgence when you're in a wheelchair and I'm pushing you around, like Richard Pryor and Gene
Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah. Gene Wilder. Yes. Mr. Gilda Radner.
Yes. Rest in pieces.
So the Masked Maniac is like jobber status, so I can empathize. Yeah. Got it, like it, whatever.
Biggest guy there, jobber.
Yeah, pretty much. And basically because the whole story is that he hasn't been wrestling that long. Like he's just now stumbled into this. This is
could also be why he's clunky.
Yeah, this is a new venture for him. So, but there's a funny thing when I was reading about Dr. Death, he said that Dr. Death actually said that, and I empathize with it because back to the whole discussion of not being able to see in the mask, Dr. Death actually blew out his knee and at one point in time busted himself open and needed 39 stitches.
In this?
At playing the Masked Maniac.
Holy... What did he bust open?
I don't know.
Like his entire stomach? What do you do with 39 stitches?
I mean, this is a man that challenged a fucking Ford Ranger one time in a parking lot. And he blew out his knee and required 39 stitches. And Dr. Death said that playing the Masked Maniac was the most painful $2,000 he ever earned. So,
man.
Yeah.
I want to know the most painful $2,000 I've ever... Well, it was a year long to earn this $2,000 in wrestling. And,
yeah.
Oh, man.
Also, too, the two kids, Mark Randall and Ellen Randall. Mark Randall is played by, I'm going to try the name. It's a difficult one. Yannick Bison, or Bison. He appeared on the Murdoch Mysteries on CBS.
Oh, that's where I knew him from.
Yeah, that's where you would know him from. Now, Ellen Randall is played by Nicole Stoffman.
Mm-hmm. She did shit.
She did Degrassi High, Junior High.
Damn right she
Not
did.
Degrassi High, but Degrassi Junior High. And she is actually now a tour guide for Canadian Parliament.
Awesome.
I would probably venture to guess that she's probably the best tour guide they have.
I'm sure.
I'm 1,000% on that.
She has a lot of information about the Masked Maniac. Funny Degrassi story that I have.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's not junior high. It's just normal high.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever tell anyone to look me up on YouTube, I have to tell them they have to add the word wrestler or wrestling. Because on Degrassi, there was a homosexual couple named Zane and Riley. So if you just look up Zane Riley, it's just a whole bunch of these cute little boys kissing. So you gotta look up wrestler too if you're gonna look for me on the internet.
If you want,
and then they still pop up.
Yeah,
you're just more likely to find me. I'm not number 1, but I'm not number 500 if you just look for Zane Riley.
Yeah, if you want, if you want to find Zane Riley kissing adorable little boys.
Yeah, it's
you gotta put in wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Zane Riley kisses boys, not Zane Riley.
Yeah, just Zane Riley.
Just boys kissing.
Yeah, neither one of them know how to take a hip toss.
No, not at all.
If you want to see a Zane Riley that's kissing another man that knows how to take a hip toss,
if you're looking
wrestler.
for me, wrestler.
Put wrestler in there. Also, too, who makes an appearance, not in the pilot episode, but in episode, I think I was just watching 4. He pops up, but he appears in 6 episodes. There's a character called Cue Ball, the bald dude who's a wrestler. Because Cheetah is not actually a wrestler, and Cue Ball is not actually a wrestler.
What? Cheetah's not really a wrestler?
Well, he plays a wrestler. He's not.
Oh, like in real life.
Real life. He's not a real. He's not a real life wrestler. They get some other actors.
Then why was this guy sitting at the table?
Yeah.
Okay, he is. In the confines of the show is the only place he is a wrestler.
Yes,
great.
Exactly. He is playing a wrestler on TV. He's not actually a wrestler.
Got you.
And one of the characters that is in some of the subsequent episodes is Cue Ball, and that gentleman is played by Kevin Rushton. And actually, this whole series is the start of a very long career that he has.
Really?
Learning the ropes launches Kevin Rushton's career, where he goes on to have a long stunt career in the X-Men movies. Land of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Also, too, he's in Boondock Saints and does the stunts for that. And also...
Degrassi. New class.
No. The Jesse Ventura story, which has been covered on this podcast, comes around full circle.
There we go.
And this show is developed by a couple of people, one of them being Neil Rosen, who is a writer on Welcome Back, Kotter. So this whole...
Hey, Mr. Kotter.
So this whole show has a little bit of pedigree to it. So it does have... I can see this being sold. I'm just surprised this wasn't on NBC or CBS or ABC. Like, this should have been playing in the South.
Canadian NBC.
Because that's the stronghold of the NWA.
Yeah.
And you have Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Ronnie Garvin, Ivan Koloff on this show. And dare I say, if you lived in Spartanburg, South Carolina, you wouldn't even know this show fucking existed.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But if you lived in Winnipeg, you know what this show is.
Oh, hey, this was a real good show, eh?
Yeah. And it was like, who are these guys?
Oh, man, did you see those hosers on the show the other night?
Oh, I did. Yeah. When they going to get Bret Hart on there?
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, you get Stu there right now. I bet he's ready to go.
Well, when's Stu going to be on Learning the Ropes?
Oh, man.
Oh, when's Owen going to be on?
Oh, these other guys can just kind of toss off.
When's the Cuban assassin going to show up? Maka Singh would make a good opponent for the Masked Maniac.
Man, I bet Bad News Brown's coming soon, man.
But the wrestlers use actual names. Mm-hmm. And then we start off the pilot episode with just Ivan Koloff watching one of his own matches.
Watching his own self on TV. What the fuck? Wrestling George South, though.
Yeah, wrestling George South. And George South bumping like a fucking machine. Bumping machine.
The worst part about this entire show is the obvious voiceover commentator to the match.
Oh, yeah.
Hits him with his famous elbow schlom.
Yeah, like just making up shit and the Russian dive bomb.
Yep, and the... Oh, no, that's what Cheetah called it, the nuclear neck cracker.
Yeah, nuclear neck cracker, yeah. It was like just weird shit like that.
Start calling my shit that.
Yeah, just made up
But it's not even going to be a neck-related thing.
Yeah, at all.
Like, and the actual move itself is just him trying to snap the guy's neck.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And then, Ivan Koloff just cracks it the other way,
yeah. Waka waka.
Mm-hmm. Well, and,
Which, of the comedy, that doctor was the funniest one. Could you send someone over to feed me through a straw in my nose?
Yeah, like, big laugh. And then they also put, like, a laugh track in when, like, Lyle Alzado's just, like, dealing cards on the table. And he's doing it a little bit faster.
They never played the goddamn game.
They never did.
Just down out every card. Are you playing War? What are we doing here?
I know, yeah. Like, what do you do? What game are you playing where you've got to dish out 20 cards to each player?
Is that 2 decks of cards?
Yeah, and I just don't know why Ivan's watching his own match. Like, you were there.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you were there. You know what happens in that match. You know, matter of fact, you know what's gonna happen in that match before you walked out there.
That's right.
Why do you get to see it again?
Why do you? Well, you've learned about it.
Yeah.
You've done it, and now you're watching it. That's a little bit egotistical.
I mean, that's like the kids today, where they're like they gotta watch their matches over and over again. You know, which probably explains why the wrestlers today are so good. And why I'm
good.
Still here, doing a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever. I'll still.
How often do you listen to our podcast after we record them?
Never.
Me either. Good. I thought I was the only one. I got real worried.
Because I don't love myself
enough
to listen to myself again, so I might go off to leave you alone and go to law school in London.
And that's fine.
So
I'll be progressive enough to open up Caleb's mail and then seal it back before he gets there.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna only write him letters.
Should.
I'm not writing you letters.
No, please don't.
Because
I'll learn everything I need from his letters.
Listen, I don't have time to write you a letter because I'm busy stripping in a bar for money. Yeah. Okay, that's.
Okay, so Jake's just over there. He's just bartending in a pub.
Just looking for something never really
found.
I'll see the particulars about the match that we see. It happens in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Yep.
Referee is Teddy Long, if I'm not mistaken.
Teddy Long.
So just find that really interesting, and they show a lot of the match.
That whole half the show is the goddamn match.
Yeah, which I'm not mad about. That's a good goddamn match to show.
Yeah.
George South versus Ivan Koloff.
I'm sure it's the whole match.
I would imagine so.
Yeah,
I'd imagine so. I do like the funny, like, hey, thanks for letting us change at your house.
Mm-hmm.
We better get them the matches. They start in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking shitty fucking wrestlers are you guys?
Wait, what locker room have you ever been in where they cared enough to fumigate the locker room for you?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like, you think about APW Chester, like, they've probably got asbestos in that building.
They don't give one fuck. They just hung a brand new TV for you to watch the matches as they happen. That's about all you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, you watch them while they happen. You don't watch them, like, later.
Every year, APW Chester gets a new gift for the boys in the back. And 2 years ago, it was a Jaeger machine.
Oh.
Yep.
What year was it when they put the corn dog machine?
Oh, that was probably the year before?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a good year.
I would never eat those fucking corn dogs.
Oh, so you fucked up.
Because they put them right next to the fucking bathroom.
They sure did. And that bathroom was so gross.
The grossest.
Blah.
Yeah. I have shivers just thinking about it.
I didn't know if that thing was actually for use or it was an ashtray, because that's what always seemed to be in it more than piss.
I'm happy I got kicked out of that.
Yes.
Because I've been thrown out of far classier places. True fucking statement.
Get at me.
But yeah, call time. 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And you still got to drive over there? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And he was talking about how Cheetah would have taken 45 minutes to get to there from his house.
No, 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours. What the fuck, man?
Where do you live?
Yeah, where do you live? We get in the whole dynamic of Ellen and Mark. Mark's in love. We already discussed the letter. Mark is kissing.
Is Mark a shitty person?
No, he's...
Or is he just too stupid? And
from all the other episodes I could see, he's a bit more snarkier in the other episodes. Like typical big brother in an 80s sitcom, but not as lovable as a Mike Seaver character or Kirk Cameron's character. Actually, no, that's the same person. I was thinking of Michael J. Fox. Yes. I forget what that family's name was in Family Ties. They went to Seavers. They were...
something else. You guys will tell us.
Yeah, you guys are screaming into your podcast machines right now at me not knowing the name of the family and Family Ties. I'm fucking sorry. And
the Ties family.
And guess what? I would even venture to guess that 60, maybe even 75% of you don't even know what fucking Family Ties is. So fucking don't at me. You know?
Don't at me, motherfuckers.
We see Mark kissing his girlfriend Leslie. Then we get into Lyle Alzado's dynamic with Carol. Carol, who is the Keatons. There we go. We figured it out.
Yeah. So we never even heard you guys complain.
Exactly. We figured out the Keatons on Family Ties. But we get Mass Maniac's relationship with Carol, who is a teacher at the school, who also, I don't think it's discussed in this episode, but it's definitely discussed in episode 1. Carol is the niece of the principal. So there's not only is there a reason for the Mass Maniac not to get involved with Carol because he's mourning the loss of his wife or
which
that
again I guess that
relationship.
goes back to the fact that maybe they're not together in some, like, they're marriedly not together anymore because because his answer is never, well, because I'm fucking married, you dumb bitch.
Well, but here's the thing though,
it's not just like you as a friend.
In other episodes she's basically says the words like, your wife's not here. Like, it gets real fucking dark.
She's not a good person.
Yeah, Carol.
If this was the other way around in 2018, this should be taken off the air.
Oh, that'd be, exactly. But Carol is thirsty.
Yeah,
she is thirsty.
That bitch a thought.
Yeah,
she a THOT.
Oh, yeah. She's coming at it hard. And like I said, in one episode, she's like, your wife's not even here. Come on, she's in another country. Like, I mean,
that's your time zone.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, that's...
what you into, girl?
Yeah, like, she's going out hard, but he can't get involved, not only because he is still mourning the loss of his wife, her leaving, but also, too, she's the niece of the principal. So if he becomes involved with her, she's eventually going to know that he's a wrestler, and then that's going to get back to the principal, then he's going to lose this job. So it's this weird thing. So there is this playful thing back and forth and stuff like that. But there's a lot of layers to that, which, thinking about how the rest of the series plays out, that's very interesting. That's an interesting dynamic. Does this become a Sam and Diane relationship, but also with some real stakes to it? Like, I think that's a great little fucking chestnut.
Do they run a wrestling show at the middle school gym or the high school gym? And he's booked, and he's got to do that weird trope a la Miss Doubtfire where they're at the same date, but they're two different people, so he's like running back and forth, being the principal and the wrestler, and then accidentally puts on a suit, but he still has the hood on. Yeah,
I'm telling you, there's some little chestnuts that are laid out through here, and then obviously the thought of the wife coming back, how that could change. I mean, there's little chestnuts in here. There's a lot of meat left on the bone for this. I'm just saying there could be a reboot to this.
I mean, we've tackled podcasts, Jake. We both have had multiple podcasts. Maybe it's time to dip our toe into the TV time.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna do a reboot of this, who do you cast?
So it's got to be...
Who's the lead role?
So we already know he's a retired football player, right?
Retired football player. And I think that narrows it down a little bit. On who.
I think in this day and age, I think we're going to go black guy, though.
We need diversity, for sure. And that's what I'm thinking, too.
That thought teacher, though, is staying white girl.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So a retired black football player... Maybe not football, if we're going to switch it up a little bit, but a retired black athlete.
Yeah.
A large athlete. So it's got to have to be like football or maybe like a baseball. Like if David Ortiz didn't have such a thick accent.
Yeah, but see,
he's also pudgier.
You need like a physical person, but I don't know if you can do... Could you do an old MMA guy? Could we cast Rampage Jackson?
Oh, man.
Could we
He's already got his hooks in the A-Team remakes and stuff. We could do that.
See,
I was thinking, fuck, if we're gonna, in the day and age of more spot-tastic wrestling, could it be a Colin Kaepernick?
Okay.
Smaller guy, still great shape.
Educated man.
He could do the flips and deal. He has a little bit of clout behind him already for some things he might have done here.
Ricochet could body double.
There you go. It was Ricochet was who I had on my mind. I was like, he's fucking a different Ricochet.
Exactly. But here's what I would think would happen.
We could do Fed shows as his job room.
NXT could just be splicing
there
in.
it is.
See, I feel you on Colin Kaepernick, but I'm gonna raise you, Michael Strahan.
Okay.
Maybe we could do Michael Strahan.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? He's already very camera ready.
Yep.
Very, imagine him being a teacher.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking we could do that. Maybe even for the woman, Carol, just have Kelly Ripa.
Hey.
And just it's just we have a crossover there.
Or what is that? For the hoe lady, it could be the real funny girl that did Workaholics, the bigger blonde girl.
Yeah,
her,
that'd be good.
Or the girl that does. She's like the real vulgar girl in that movie The Goods, but she was in Step Brothers where she kept trying to get John C. Reilly to fuck her.
Oh.
I never
remember. Anna Gasteyer?
No, it looks just like her, though. No, Anna Gasteyer was in SNL.
Okay.
But yeah, she's always in all those
she'd be good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I love her so much. I love both those girls.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that we need to go that route.
Yeah,
but I do like the Colin Kaepernick thing. Let's get him out on TV. Let's get him out in front. I think this would be.
We got Nike already behind us at that point.
Absolutely. But like
get a really good urban soundtrack.
Absolutely, but if you want to go safe, it depends on what network we're dealing with here. I think Michael Strahan is maybe where we end up. So
we got two good flip coins. We got two.
We do. We got two people we're leading at the front here. But I do like the potential of
George South can still be there.
He could still wrestle Ricochet. Mm-hmm. But I think I like that potential even more of just like Colin Kaepernick. He puts a mask on and he's Ricochet. Even though there's like almost a whole foot difference between the two, probably. Like I just would love to see that.
I get to be Cheetah. You get to be Cue Ball.
Oh, absolutely. That's because every time we recast this, we have to recast ourselves.
Exactly.
And this show would start my stunt career.
Exactly.
So,
and I don't really give a fuck about myself, so it's whatever.
Okay. Well, you would go on.
I want half of an animal to wear.
You would go on to actually do some more dramatic things, much like the actual Cheetah did.
Fucking A, Cotton. Fucking A.
There you are. But let's continue on with this episode.
We took a real hard turn there, just sat there for a while.
We did. Well, that's what we do.
That's right.
And listen, you were worried that
don't you motherfuckers take our shit either.
Yes. This is copyrighted, trademarked.
Yep.
So that's how...
we made this Enterprises.
This is the 2019 poor man's version of a copyright. You say it on a podcast, and it's legally binding, okay? Once I upload this to SoundCloud, you can't steal the shit, all right?
You take that, Medusa and Dave McClain.
Take it and like it. And you were worried we weren't able to talk about an episode.
Yeah, I'm just really excited about starting on the script. So if we would have wrapped this up anytime.
Yeah, well, there's not a whole lot left to discuss.
The wrestling match ended and the show was about done.
Yeah, and there's a dinner and
he makes some weird Alfredo something.
Yes, and then he also says, "I wish your mother was here." Like,
whoa,
real fucking dark, real fast.
What if it turns out he's been lying to his kids and the mother's actually dead? And he's just been writing the kids fucking letters.
Ooh, are we going to get that dark?
Man, we are with Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, all right.
Get your dramatic chops up, Colin.
All right. Get real fucking deep into it. Finally, Leslie breaks up with Mark. Then,
which was a really cutesy little like back and forth to that. Like, I want to talk to you. I've been thinking the same thing. Oh, you've been thinking you want to break up with me too? Wait, what?
That's another thing that hit home hard to me. You know what I'm saying? You just wake up one day and like, I don't love you no more.
Oh no!
Oh no! Okay.
Is his grandmother down in this episode too?
All right. We'll wait about 4 months before we get out.
Wow. It's been another episode.
Listen, it may be 2019, but mother, I can still be depressed.
Calm down, shooter.
Anyways, fucking Robert's watching himself job to Ric Flair. And then he calls over their neighbor, Dr. Jerry, to come over and talk to Mark about his breakup.
Yeah.
And fucking Mark says a line where he goes, "Because I feel dejected. I feel like Pat Sajak."
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Do the Canadians not like Pat Sajak? Or are they just like, hey, when you get out there, make sure you shit on Pat Sajak?
I just saw a documentary about Pat Sajak.
He's 50% plastic.
Yeah, about the game show host, and I just saw Pat Sajak. Motherfucker lived a charmed life.
Oh, I bet.
I don't think he knows what rejection is.
Yeah.
For you to say that you're depressed, like Pat Sajak would say, I'm happy as fuck. Like, I don't fucking.
They were out of the good coffee at the Starbucks that I throw money at every day.
Yeah, like. I don't think Pat Sajak know what failure is.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing okay.
Never.
He's doing all right. Landed well. And then Dr.
He's still flying, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still a host.
He's still got his best years ahead of him. Like, him and Vanna White.
Oh, man.
I'm starting to believe that the wheel and the Wheel of Fortune is the Fountain of Youth.
It is the Lazarus Pit, and they move the wheel every night, and they get down into the tub.
Mm-hmm. Or it's like a Tupperware, or like that Erie, Indiana.
Oh my God! Did you just make an Erie, Indiana reference?
Yes, I did.
Oh, and they leave the
Tupperware container.
Yeah,
and then they leave it open.
And the kids age overnight. The mom dies basically,
Yes.
or she's super old in there.
Uh-huh.
Man, that was one of my favorite shows of all time.
Okay.
Erie, Indiana.
I bet, since you're such a big Supernatural fan.
Every once in a while I try to find like episodes on YouTube and shit.
Well, you can find episodes of this on
Yes,
YouTube.
you
can. But before we get done with this episode, I got to talk about probably the fucking hardest fucking line in this thing. Like this, if we're concerned about being too dramatic with Colin,
yeah,
let's talk about the line where finally Dr. Jerry gets thrown out, and then Mark's like, "Dad, I think you're the perfect person to talk to because." The right person to talk to was underneath my nose because, Dad, Mom left you. Like, that's a hard fucking line for an 80s sitcom right there.
Whoa, kid.
Whoa. I was like, ouch. What the fuck, man?
Yeah,
like,
you gonna throw that shit at me?
Why you gotta be a dick, Mark? Like,
yeah. I did love that his name was Mark and it's a wrestling show.
I didn't get connection!
I hope there was that. Like,
I wish. Goddamn, I wish there was. Oh, please.
I hope someone was smart enough to be like, hey man, name him Mark. It's funny. And not just him like, oh, this character's name's Mark.
Yeah.
Because at the very beginning, when he's talking about he's in love, his dad gets in his face, just starts screaming, Mark, Mark, Mark.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I hope Flair was like, I got an idea.
Oh yeah, I hope Flair or maybe Arn was the agent for that.
Yeah, I hope
please. Please. But anyways, the kids show up to the locker room. They said, "Here's a letter," and they're like, "Oh, is this a really nice letter from Mom?" Like, no, it's for you, Dad. And it's like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
All the feels. But and that's the end of the pilot. That's basically what most people will watch. But like I said, I went in a fucking wormhole.
Yeah.
And
hit us with some highlights.
I'll hit you with some highlights. We kind of already discussed like the different dynamics. Episode 1, there's the kids are all like the son's fan of wrestling and like, Masked Maniac, he's a fucking asshole. And then they cut to the locker room and the Masked Maniac takes off his mask and it's revealed like, oh, it's that kid's dad. And everybody and the instead of a laugh track, you hear a track of ooh. It's like a big reveal, and then the son finds the mask in the closet and then he blackmails the dad. Because the dad doesn't want the daughter to know, but then the son's just like fuck it, I'll just tell you. And they take him down in the matches and fucking just jobs it out. But some of the bigger highlights of episode 1 is you see clips of the Masked Maniac wrestling Arn Anderson. Oh. So Arn's little appearance there. The son's much more snarky in episode 1.
Yeah.
Like he's not as likable. He's a little more likable in episode 2. And like I said, you get to see more of a dynamic of what this family is.
I like the daughter a lot because she's like kind of a big cunt. Like, just very shitting on the brother the whole time.
What she is in episode 2, reverse that.
Okay.
In episode 1.
All right.
So I think they're trying to figure out the dynamic of there. Carol is still thirsty as fuck in episode 1. Also, too, in episode 1, you get a Ric Flair promo.
Good.
That is unlike any other Ric Flair promo that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Because he doesn't know how money transfers over in Canada.
I don't think he knows how laws work in Canada because this is what Ric Flair says in his promo.
Well, the fucking dude's wife was there. She'd probably tell him.
In episode 1, called Unmasking the Maniac, Ric Flair cuts a promo and says, "Killing is my life. Brutal murder is my life. And in my own small way, and torture is my life. And in my own small way, I'm improving the quality of life."
Okay.
And then he goes, "Woo."
Just like, whoa.
Like, yeah. The darkest version of the timeline Ric Flair is in learning the ropes.
Did he have like a pencil mustache and a goatee also? Is he evil Ric Flair?
That's exactly what evil Ric Flair would say in a promo.
Yeah.
For sure. And then also, too, you see Ronnie Garvin do the worst job acting ever.
I thought you were about to say you see him do the worm. I'm like, what the fuck did I miss?
Well, that would be the brighter version of the timeline. But you see Ronnie Garvin give the worst acting performance in episode 1 ever, where he hands a book back to the Masked Maniac about the French Revolution. And he's like, there's a book on French Revolution. It's really important to read that book and see how people can band together and make a true change.
Thanks, Ronnie Garvin.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Ronnie, did you do that with more feeling? That was more feeling. Thanks, Ronnie. You did great.
You're real good. Then, like I said, episode 2 is basically the pilot. Episode 3, that's the fucking one you need to. I'm for sure. Fucking go to How Did This Get Booked Facebook page. Hopefully, it's still fucking there. Episode 3 is entitled "Express Lane to Fame." And want to know why Express is in the fucking title? Because goddamn Ricky Morton's in episode 3, and he's in it from fucking beginning to end. Holy fucking shit, this episode is amazing. I'm fucking hooked.
Trying to push him as like that sex symbol. See if we get that Leaf Cassidy shit going on.
Oh, brother, they pushed that hard. And also, too, Ricky is playing guitar.
Yeah, well.
The whole premise of the whole episode is the son wants to become a famous rock star, runs into Ricky Morton in the locker room, sees Ricky playing guitar, and be like, hey, Ricky, you want to come jam with my band? They come jam. Ricky does an amazing job lip syncing or amazing job singing. I don't fucking know.
Knows?
I've never heard Ricky's pipes.
Life?
I don't know Ricky's life. I don't know what type of pipes he has. But in this episode, it looks like he has some fucking...
He's got some chops.
He's got some chops. They end up playing a gig. The gig goes amazing. The son thinks he's going to be a rock star. Goes to Ricky and is like, hey, Ricky, I got another gig. And Ricky's like, I don't got time to be a rock star. I'm too busy being a pro wrestler. Ricky, I think you're going to regret that decision a few years later.
Fucked up, kid.
Fucked up. You also see Ricky wrestle Cruel Connection. It's not George.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Gary Royal.
Okay.
It's a bit more of a rotund individual, where I think George was kind of the skinnier.
He was the high flyer.
Yeah, he was the high flyer of the Cruel Connection. So we lead. Oh, and also in episode 3, they do a sex ed class.
Oh, great.
So that's what
I was wondering when they would have that teen pregnancy scare.
Yeah. It just miraculously, it's the same episode that Ricky Morton's involved in, but somehow those plot points don't connect for whatever reason, which is surprising.
The way
and
the curves work is
disappointing.
Yeah,
it was almost like they were magnets of the same side, and they bounced off of each other. When really,
and somehow he was also the teacher.
Teen pregnancy, it should have been to get like he should have done a run in on the class. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Rock and Roll Express Ricky Morton right here.
I know all about teen pregnancy. I've knocked up a few teens before.
Reproduction, reproducing rock and roll.
This is Robert Gibson. He's got a dick.
See, here's the most important thing. Women have vagina, but you see, men have a pita. But you know what? Robert has a dick.
I got a pita, but Robert's got a dick.
Episode lesson number 1: over. Mark does have a fucking
rock and roll.
Mark says a line in the episode, and I can't believe this is a line.
Is this your shirt idea?
I'm thinking about doing a shirt for this, but I would have to give Ricky some money for it, which I know I'd fucking regret. Dear God, I would love to fucking make a shirt out of this line that is set on an 80s sitcom, and I can't believe if you two would have told me at any point during my fucking life, up until this point, that in an 80s sitcom, that one of the lead characters said, the magic just wasn't there without Ricky Morton.
I bet he...
A fucking man!
I bet Ricky was like, I ain't doing this goddamn show unless you put this line in there.
God damn it, why doesn't Ricky have t-shirts that say that?
I wonder if he was like getting ready to go on a singles run there around that time, and he was just getting ready, and it never really came to fruition, but that was his go back to Rock and Roll Express. The match never was there.
See, but the thing is, there's no Robert anywhere to be found. I think this is during the time... because this would be about 88-ish. This is about the time when Robert had a dispute with Crockett, and then he went on, and Ricky was still in the NWA. I think this was the tail end, because remember, we just did a show, AWA Super Clash, in 88, Rock and Roll Express
they're
together, and they just kind of just came in. So I feel like this is during the time when Ricky's like at the tail end of his NWA career after Robert had a dispute with Crockett. So that's kind of when this all happened. And then I went on to watch episode number 4. I will end up watching episode number 5 and number 7. They don't have number 6 for whatever reason online.
Don't miss much. Though.
You're not missing much, but episode 4, Jimmy Garvin is in it, and Jimmy Garvin is a fucking fantastic actor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Fucking awesome. Like, of all the wrestlers that they've had on here doing speaking parts, Jimmy Garvin is hands down the best.
Not only the best Garvin.
Yeah,
but the best one, period.
As bad as fucking Ronnie is at acting, Jimmy's equally as good. Unfucking believable. I'd highly recommend that, and I think the Road Warriors make an appearance. I don't know if that episode's uploaded online. I'm gonna do some more digging.
Yeah, I probably am too now that
I would highly recommend look it up online. I'm gonna post some of these on our Facebook page, so go to our Facebook page and go do that. So that's pretty much the topic of discussion. This turned out to be a lot more goddamn fun than I thought.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got to redo my list.
Yeah, and like I said, we were a little concerned that we weren't going to, get this done, and
we come off a little phoned in-ish.
Phoned in, and I don't want that. I want to give a little bit of extra for you guys since we had to like kind of throw this together. But we want to give you guys a little extra, and also this is the first episode of 2019. And everybody and their brother does lists, but I don't want to do a clip show. I definitely wanted to give you guys quality material, and you guys have got almost an hour's worth of quality material.
Right,
but we also want to give you guys a little extra.
Yeah, maybe you came in late, and I saw today we have 72 episodes. By this time it'll be probably 74, 75.
No, this will be the 72nd episode.
We have 72 up already.
No, we have 71. We have a bonus episode. We have a bonus episode that we did, which I regret because it throws off the numbers and it fucks up my OCD.
But nonetheless, you'll still have. There's 70 episodes is a lot to catch up on. Yeah. That's more than 70 hours.
And also too, like I said, we just had Moco Loco just discover us at Raleigh.
Yeah.
And, we have some people that just come on board this year. There's a lot of people that just found out that I even exist in professional wrestling this year. And then you find out I have a podcast. So there's a lot of people that are just discovering us. And I kind of wanted to take a little bit of time on this episode because I was worried we were going to go short, but apparently we're not.
We're going to go long.
So now you're getting a bonus.
You're welcome.
You're getting a bonus right now.
Happy New Year. Oh,
sad lieutenant dancing in a wheelchair. So I kind of wanted to do, with Zane, wanted to do like a top 5 episodes of this past year. But I wanted to do like top 5 guests and top 5 episodes. So, if you kind of showed up a little bit late and you're not familiar with our entire archive, our back catalog, here's some ones that we kind of recommend just in the last year. Because, I'm sure there's some jokes we made in episode 10 that might not be topically or politically relevant anymore.
Yeah,
so, because we live in different world at different times. So we wanted to just stick with the top 5 of 2018. You want to start with guests? Or you want to start with shows?
We'll start with guests.
Okay. Top 5 guests. Who do you?
We going 5 down, or we going 5 to 1? Or kind of just list?
I put no specific order on anybody. I just put these are the top 5.
Okay. Then that is. I'm gonna say our last guest, Jordan Century.
Yes.
Again, he dark horsed it, came out of nowhere, became probably one of my favorite ones we've had so far.
Also on my top 5 list as well.
He was quick to make a joke. He definitely embraced the material and was not pushed off by it.
Absolutely.
And played along very well.
Jumped right in, saw the whole show, which is obviously a qualification to be one of our better guests, is actually watch a show that we were discussing. That right there puts him ahead of at least a handful of people. And he was great. We're going to bring him back. And if you didn't listen to our last episode, AWA Super Clash, go listen to that one. Jordan is fantastic.
It wouldn't have been as good without him.
Oh, for sure, because we were off step. We were off timed. It had been almost a month since we'd seen the show, but Jordan carried us through that episode. And we're going to have him back on a regular fucking basis. So he's on my top 5 as well.
Who you got?
I've got, I didn't realize this happened this year, but it happened very early in the year. Kaylee Cutright and Ramon Perez.
I have them on here as well.
Our
first tag team, or our second tag team, we had a different couple do it before, Nick and
Spencer.
Nick Spencer.
That was episode 3, but I tell you what, Kaylee and Ramon fucking hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
Like, they were, you'd think with 4 people in here and everybody trying to get jokes, that we'd step on each other.
No.
That was done so precisely. Everybody got their stuff in. As far as like jokes per minute, that has to be the highest and the best one. We even discussed if we ever do a future live one in the area, we're going to bring in Kaylee and Ramon because they were so good. And, you know, I haven't seen, I don't see them as much anymore because sometimes they dip away from comedy from time to time. They have life and things that come up. But Kaylee has just started to pop back up again. So I'm going to reach out to Kaylee and Ramon again. We're going to get them back on the show, and we're going to come up with something really good, considering they know how to, you know, deliver the goods. And I won't give them something that's 3.5 hours long to watch. How about that?
We'll do you guys a favor now.
Yeah, but they are fantastic. We're going to have them back, and they're great. So.
Speaking of the fantastic women that we bring on this show, Lauren Ansley is one of my favorite guests for the year. We had a really good conversation about what she did at prom last year. We brought her back, and this time we just talked to her about how to put your dick in your trunks.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the more entertaining. It was like what you do with your dick.
Yeah,
you know?
what your wiener doing.
Yeah, and
it's not something she would think about.
Yeah, and knowing and asking what a non-wrestling fan wants to know from a professional wrestler, that always fascinates me.
Yeah.
And you know I love to talk about dicks.
Yeah. And damn, she tries. She has so many good jokes, and you know she's just trying to pump them out there, trying to get them all out in the world. I don't know if you don't follow her on the medias, you definitely should. She puts up some of the worst jokes in the entire world, and they're so funny.
And she knows it.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what makes it so good. Like she does them on purpose.
She's not putting out the A material. No. She's saving that for her actual stand-up.
Yes.
She's putting out the fucking F troop.
She's putting puns out there, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping all sorts of puns.
So if you enjoyed her episode, you'll enjoy her Twitter account.
Yes, do that.
I did not have her on my top 5, though. But I did have Alex Spears on my top 5. He did the embarrassing moments from WWF, like Coliseum videos. I was thoroughly entertained. And that's also one we discovered how much fun it was to huff spray paint.
Yes. Oh, man.
That was that. I mean,
you know, actually, let's go do that real fast.
Okay, let's go.
Holy shit!
It's not the same without Alex, though. It's not the same. Like
he's got a better method.
Yeah, he knows really how to huff. Like, yeah,
it kind of is what it is.
All right, yeah, it's. Let's just bring him back. We'll fucking huff some paint with him next time. But he's on my top 5.
2019. Sure. I think this is one of the few people that made my top 5 guest list, and his episode made my top 5 the episode list. Carlos Valencia.
I have him down as honorable mention. I do like him. I do appreciate him. I have some other people I do want to put in here, but
likewise.
But at the same time, too, I put him down as honorable mention because I feel like he was necessary for that episode because we wouldn't have fucking known what the fuck was happening.
That's why I put him on there, is because like he's the way he kind of guided us through some of the shit he was actually saying, and then what the closed captions told us and everything were different.
Yes,
that was. And then Carlos is always good for a really good joke, both couth and uncouth.
I feel like his Survivor Series episode was better, but he was definitely probably the most important guest we had.
Well, he was the only time traveler we've ever had also.
Exactly. This is true. I think he, as far as importance, like him and Jordan Century, probably the most important guest we had, for sure. I had also somebody that I thought was like from last year, but actually was this year. It was kind of a dark horse. JD Caldwell. He did the NWC best of tape. Like he had some real jokes, and much like Jordan Century, like really immersed himself in what this is and figured it out, knew it right away. So I just want to give JD some love. We'll definitely bring him back. It's been almost a year now, so it's probably about time.
Yeah.
So
the last person I do have an honorable mention, but the last person that actually made my list, one of the biggest men in the world, Jason Allen King.
Yeah,
he's so good. Like he embraces everything so much, and he goes out of his way to work on it, refine it, make it funny, and he did that on every episode we've had him.
I do have that show listed as honorable mention of as far as shows. I don't necessarily have him as a guest because I would like to give some love to Mike Busick because I'm still fucking entertained by the fact that he's like, holy shit, Papa Shango's Pimpin' Rose in 1999. Also, too, one more Honorable mention for me, Matt Barentine.
I think he didn't make the cut. I think he was last year.
No, the ACW one.
Oh, okay.
The one where...
Oh, wait, the Wildest Matches?
No, ACW, the one where I was the commentator.
Oh, okay.
And I appreciated I appreciated the fact
much.
that he wrote down verbatim some of the things I said on commentary and then spit them back at me and explained to me how fucking problematic I was in 2005.
Where were you then?
Yes.
Matt.
Yeah, so...
my honorable mention is Ike Eikenberry.
Yeah. Ike's always real solid. We need to bring him back for... I couldn't find the UWF Blackjack Brawl, I think it was, because he ended up watching the Blackjack Brawl instead of the Beach Brawl last time. But that YouTube page that has the Learning the Ropes episodes on it also has the UWF show that I was looking for Ike to do. So we might bring Ike back and complete the...
Is this person just putting out stuff for us to do... podcast about?
Oh, this person's YouTube page. I'm subscribing to it right now.
They're contenting us?
They're contenting us for sure. He's gonna all of a sudden be like, why do I have 4,000 new subscribers?
What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on? Let's go to episodes.
Let's. My issue with this is that I enjoyed a lot more of our soirees into pop culture.
I've got a lot of those too.
So
I got a lot of those
too.
That's why I wanted to divide it up guests and then, episodes.
List 1 was all pop culture. And so I was like, I've got to edit this some. It's not... I've got to throw some actual wrestling in there.
Yeah.
So I added 2 wrestlings. But I will say, and I think we've already kind of agreed, our live episode of The Wrestler.
Yeah. It's on my list as well.
It was way better than our first live episode.
Where I almost had a fucking stroke. Yeah. The fact that I didn't have a stroke on our second live episode, already a fucking win. But you know what? We earned some new subscribers, new listeners because of that show. People had awesome questions. We told awesome stories. I highly recommend you guys go back and listen to it. It was a lot of goddamn fun.
And we hope that more of our live episodes are that way. Coming up. And especially our going into the pop culture stuff is going to make it a lot easier for us to be able to do those.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll have some real cool guests in the future. I've made a lot of connections with the SuperCon people and some of the other people that do panels. I think we'll have even better live episodes to come.
Okay.
So, I put the FWE. We already talked about how much we love Kaylee and Ramon, and just that episode is just so good.
Yeah.
I think when I point to our best episodes, I point to Kaylee and Ramon's episode, FWE No Limits. Just
and like we talked about just a second ago with Carlos, I have El Santo versus the Murderer of TV.
Yeah.
Just because having him as that extra somebody, and just like the craziness of Masked Wrestler was a huge TV star, a movie star. Just all the things that come together in that moment, I thought was a fantastic episode.
And we saw the Fat Elvis version of El Santo. So
yes.
I thought that was nice. I slipped in there. See no evil.
That was a good time.
I enjoyed that episode. That was
Mike's still a piece of shit. I don't know why we're
still
thinking
you know what?
hero.
I put that episode in there because we got a lot of Twitter conversation about how fucking shitty fucking old boy was for surviving. Like when that motherfucker should have died in service for the good people to escape.
I'm gonna pimp you out and I'm gonna rape you up here, but I'm gonna be the superhero at the end of the show.
Yeah,
that
motherfucker should have died.
Yeah,
in a fire explosion, saving everybody. Like that's just how I feel about it. So,
one of mine was the Andre the Giant documentary, the biopic that we did.
That was good. I definitely like that. Other than I think it was a little better than some of the 3 parts that I had about Andre the Giant on 10 Bell Pod. Yeah. I think we could probably have chopped that into like a really good solid episode, but we have 3 episodes of Andre the Giant for 10 Bell Pod. I would check that out.
He's a madman. So.
He is a fucking crazy person.
I loved everything they kind of told about that, and I'm glad they didn't sugarcoat any of it. Like, I'm glad it was the amount of sad that it was. Like, it kind of needed to be.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, maybe skim through the 10 Bell Pod ones. And maybe listen to this one. Sorry, Nick. I'm just saying. I think I kind of already nailed it.
Nick, you don't have enough time to listen to our podcast. You're too busy writing 18 other ones about, I don't know, Yokozuna or something.
Yeah. Nick works very hard on 10 Bell Pod. very, very, very hard, almost a little too hard, and he really went down the rabbit hole. It was, yes, I would say that we, in podcast form at 10 Bell Pod, we had the most meticulous podcast ever on Andre the Giant, which I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Holler at you.
Holler at your boy.
Do at me on that.
Yeah.
Do at me on that on whether or not we did a good job on Andre the Giant, because then that might make my case a little bit easier. I'm like, hey, let's focus more on this. Yeah. Anyways, is it you or me?
It's you.
It's me. I got Day of the Warrior.
God damn it, that was my number one. I was hoping we were gonna say that for the last moment. That's fine. It's cool. We're there.
We're there.
Because my other one's just equally as good. I don't.
Yeah, Day of the Warrior.
Brother. Come on.
Delicious. Bring me more.
God damn it. And then to see Buff down the road a couple times after we've done that, since then until now, I've wrestled Buff and watched him get chased down by the police. So, fuck yeah, I was just going full circle with Buff Bagwell in my life.
Yeah, awesome, great, good episode, a lot of goddamn fun. I think that was the one where we realized that wrestling and pop culture episodes could be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think at that time we hadn't really figured out what they were going to be, but I think that was the one that really kicked it off.
Or at least those were things that were like, we just don't have a comedian. We've got to put some content out. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, it was one of the things we kind of got pushed to the edge on what we could do, and we came up with success. Yeah. You know?
Because I know when we first started doing the pop culture ones, even when we did like Wrestlers versus Zombies, we had a guest on that one.
We had guests on all other ones, but they were like, why don't we just do this solo? Yeah. And I feel like that's where our chemistry together bouncing back and forth. And I think that Day of the Warrior was where the wrestlers and the pop cultures got so good between you and I. So.
And then my last one, ACW's Wildest Matches.
Okay.
With where we have where we're at the famous Reseda building.
Yes. And
there's electric fences, and that it's like basically dubbed off that guy's home videos. Mm-hmm. And I just thought all the pieces to that were so great and so fun to get to talk about and just experience these insane moments that would one day be the same place that housed one of the greatest wrestling companies in the world.
Yeah. Before I give my number one, I would like to say that my honorable mentions were Baywatch.
I was going to say my honorable mention would be Baywatch.
And then I think Night of Legends with Jason Allen King and Backlash 2018. I think those are our most important episodes. Yeah. I think we have the most... give the most information. Mm-hmm. One, we're giving a lot of information about a fucking salacious criminal, and then the other one we're discussing WWE wrestling and its importance today. So if you really want to know our views about WWE today and the current product, listen to Backlash 2018. But my number one is an emotional one for me. Santa Sleigh.
I was about to say, is it because your grandma died?
Yeah. You were there for me in probably a rough time. Mm-hmm. I made a slight joke about it because that weekend was already going to be tough for me because it was in Louisville. I have a lot of very good memories in Louisville that I'm trying to forget. And you were there for me.
I will always be there for you. That was on my list, but I took it off because I needed wrestling.
Yes. And but I needed that podcast, and I needed my friend.
We recorded it out of a fucking shoe.
Yes.
In a hotel room in Louisville while everybody else was having a great time. We were having our own best friend.
I feel like we had a better time than what they did. Because I think about how much I laughed at that one. Like, there's certain memories that I have about this podcast that are quite bright. Like, I remember our last episode with Jordan Sendry. You got up and shook Jordan's hand after he got done. And I'm like, man, that's the first time I've ever seen Zane shake a guest's hand. Yeah. So he did a good job. But as far as, in the live one, meeting new people and realizing, hey, just the thought process, like, oh, what we're doing is good. Yeah. We just got to find the people.
We're not doing it. It solidifies the fact that it's not just you and me talking to a microphone to almost no one.
Yeah. And
there's other people out there.
There were people that just haven't found us yet. Yeah. And I think that's what that live episode did for me. But Santa Sleigh, I laughed so hard that my abs hurt afterwards. I think that was and I had kind of a little bit of headache from laughing so much, and that one was much needed at the time. It was a lot of goddamn fun, and that one's just my number one. That was my favorite one of the whole fucking year. So.
We got a whole other year to do this again and make some more memories, buddy.
Absolutely. So, anyways, you got anything you got to press or let anybody know about?
Check us out, man. We talked about Then Instead of Slay. It's a brand new year. Man, get out there and do all those resolutions you want to do, man. You want to lose that weight. You want to get closer to your family, get closer to your family. Yeah. I'm not going to push my stuff. Push your own stuff on yourself. Have a great year. Yeah,
and if you want to start your own podcast, make sure you get up with sixsquirrelstudios.com. Don will make sure that your stuff sounds all good and stuff, even if you're recording out of a shoe in a hotel room. He definitely did a little bit of work. Had to do a little extra steps. That's why I showed up a little bit late, but he'll definitely do it, and he'll let you. He's always there for you, except he's on vacation right now.
I'm about to say, except for right now.
Could use another week's heads up on that, Don, but at the same time, too... I get it. So
he's always there for us until tomorrow when he's not there for
exactly.
us. So.
But he was at least kind enough to let me know that he would, we were one day away from it working out. So if he just would have got home a little bit sooner on his vacation, I'd have no complaints. But right now I'm like, all right, Don, you got it, buddy.
Yep.
But anyways, like I said,
touche, Donald.
Gives you fair warning when he's going to go on vacation. Makes your podcast sound great, even though you're recording out of a shoe. But guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter at ManScoutManning, especially if you want to get up with me and yell at me that it was a Keaton's motherfucker or whatever it is you want to at me about. Go ahead and do that. Make sure you go to howdidthisgetbooked.com to buy my merch. It's all right there. But also, too, guys, continue to leave reviews on iTunes and Stitcher, and make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, and wherever podcasts are available. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo.